Orange County Fire Rescue.
6600 Sea Harbor Drive.
Okay.
They are at Shamu Stadium. We actually have a trainer in the water with one of our whales, the whale that they're not supposed to be in the water with.
Okay.
For many years, the domestication of killer whales has caused many educational fun time for families all across America, providing fun shows and entertainment. But in reality, these shows have also caused many deaths and tragedies. Starting in 1965, orca captivity became known to the public when Ted Griffin made history. Griffin was a former aquarium owner and entrepreneur, and was the first man to ever swim with the killer whale. He is best known for capturing and performing with Namu, who was the first whale to perform for the public, which struck national phenomena in the late 1960s.
I guess it was bound to happen. There was bound to be a song written about Namu the whale, and a rock and roll song at that.
Take it, Namu.
During this time, science and the public knew very little on the behavior of these animals, causing much fear to strike not only more protest, but more orca shows and captures.
We are only after the little one. And the little one is, you know, a big animal still, but I was told because of shipping costs, that's why they only take the little ones. Just like kidnapping a little kid away from her mother. Everybody's watching, what can you do? It's the worst thing I can think of, you know, I can't think of anything worse than that. Now, this really sounds bad, but when the whole hunt was over, there were 3 dead whales in the net. And so they had Peter and Brian and I cut the whales open, fill them with rocks, and put anchors on their tail and sink them.
In 1983, a male whale was captured in the North Atlantic. They later named him Tilikum.
Sealand has been a part of Victoria for over 20 years. We specialize in the care and display of killer whales.
Tilikum the whale was the biggest whale in captivity history. He was first kept at Sealand of the Pacific, where his conditions include isolation, food deprivation, and small confinement.
An employee is dead after an encounter
at a Canadian park called Sealand of the Pacific.
Seen in this home video, rescuers used a huge net to try.
Workers' efforts were hindered by the agitated whales.
Tilikum's first victim was Kelsey Bryan, a young female trainer in the 1990s.
County Sheriff's Office today's date is February 24th, 2010. The time is any blood in the water or anything like that?
Well, that's part of it. She was scalped and there was no blood.
Okay.
So pretty much we knew then that the heart wasn't beating.
Once they were able to pull her away, how did he let go of the...
He didn't.
He never let go of the
arm?
The arm.
He swallowed it.
He swallowed it?
Don Brancho. Don is the senior trainer here at Shamu Stadium, and I had the honor, Don, and I mean this so sincerely, of watching you perform yesterday. You're amazing. Thank you.
In 2010, Tilikum's third and final victim, Don Brancho, was killed in front of a horrified audience. This caused national anger, grief, and confusion since Don was so experienced. SeaWorld was sued by OSHA for violating numerous worker protection laws and was ruled to end trainers being in the water with the whales at all.
Gave the performance of a lifetime.
Yes, sir, that's our baby.
Killer whales born in captivity are often not stayed with their mother. They are often moved within the parks. In the wild, killer whales speak at different frequencies based on their location. Not being able to communicate and being in small confinement has caused much hyperaggression that is never seen in the wild.
Health and safety of the animals, please do not put your hands in the water.
always felt they could kill you very quickly and very easily, but I never felt that that was their intention or that that was their will, and it was just a matter of listening to them. And sometimes if you didn't listen to them and they were quite frustrated, they would show you in a very dramatic fashion, and not necessarily in a fashion to be violent or harm you, but just in a fashion to say, hey, you need to listen to me at this time.
I interviewed Kim Balcom, who said that there was really no conservative purpose for keeping the whales in these parks. The conditions these whales are kept in has caused many physical and psychological effects, including excess vomiting due to dietary differences,
bless you.
Have you been too greedy?
self-harm by banging their heads against the concrete walls. And lingarthy or logging, which is floating lifelessly at the bottom or top of the pool. This is extremely abnormal to the wild behavior, which is never to stop moving.
Now, and he hasn't moved.
They are also known for beaching themselves at hours at a time.
Brain, and we put it in a magnetic resonance imaging scanner. What we found was just astounding. They've got a part of the brain that humans don't have. A part of their brain has extended out right adjacent to their limbic system. The system processes emotions. The safest inference would be these are animals that have highly elaborated emotional lives.
For centuries, SeaWorld has provided hundreds of thousands of families for a love for these marine animals and for the marine environment. I attempted to contact them, but each time I was denied. These animals have provided a marine love for hundreds of thousands of guests all across America. They have changed their lives and personally mine as well.
There we go.
Begin this half hour with the death of Tilikum, the SeaWorld orca best.
Tilikum the orca has died after more than 2 decades at SeaWorld Orlando.
SeaWorld San Diego will bring its theatrical orca show to a close after years of criticism and controversy.
Trainers are no longer allowed to swim with the whales. And just this week, SeaWorld said the theatrical orca shows will soon be replaced by an educational presentation in a more natural setting, according to SeaWorld Vice President Brian Morrow.
SeaWorld is essentially saying, okay, we are going to stop breeding these killer whales in captivity. Well, once you stop the breeding program, then you pretty much have announced that you are ending the whole program of using these animals. SeaWorld has been listening, and we are changing. Society is changing, and we're changing with it. SeaWorld is finding new ways to continue to deliver on our purpose to inspire all our guests to take action to protect wild animals and wild places. Now,
it's time to stop forcing the animals to perform in basically a circus environment.
The multi-billion-dollar corporation that makes its money through the exploitation of orcas.
They're not suitable to have in captivity.
The whales are really bored. You deprive them of all this environmental stimulation.